Today, we're breaking down the 7 levels of movie villains, from the ones driven by greed and jealousy to the monsters, masterminds, and gods who bend reality itself. And by the end, you'll see why the final level isn't even human anymore. Level 1, the selfish antagonist. At level 1, we start small, villains who aren't monsters or masterminds, but people blinded by ego or greed. They don't want to destroy the world, they just want their piece of it. Take Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. He's handsome, adored, and convinced the world owes him everything. When Belle rejects him, his obsession turns into cruelty. Not because he's evil, but because his pride can't handle rejection. Then there's Hans Gruber in Die Hard, one of cinema's coolest villains. He stages a fake terrorist attack just to cover a heist, quoting philosophy while stealing bearer bonds. Gruber doesn't hate society. He just thinks he's smarter than it. Even Loki in Thor fits this tier early on. He isn't born evil, he's desperate to be seen. Overshadowed by Thor, he manipulates others not for domination, but only for recognition. These villains live and die by validation, because in the end, level 1 villains don't want chaos. They just can't stand losing, which brings us to level 2. Level 2, the enforcer of a broken system. At level 2, villains aren't driven by chaos, they're shaped by obedience. They don't question orders, they carry them out even when those orders destroy everything around them. Take Colonel Quaritch from Avatar. He's a soldier so loyal that he can't see the difference between duty and destruction. To him, Pandora isn't a living world, it's just another mission. He doesn't think he's the villain. He thinks he's doing his job. Then there's Agent Smith from The Matrix. He isn't evil out of choice. He's the voice of a system that fears freedom. Every move he makes is about control, the enforcement of order at any cost. And Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter. She hides cruelty behind a smile and calls it discipline. She speaks sweetly and tortures students and justifies it as proper procedure. She's proof that evil doesn't always come from rebellion. Sometimes it comes from blind loyalty. Even Darth Vader, before redemption, lived at this level, enforcing an empire he no longer believed in. These villains remind us that some of the most dangerous people in fiction aren't madmen. They're the ones who never ask why. And that brings us to level 3. Level 3, the ideological villain. At level 3, villains don't see themselves as evil. They see themselves as necessary. They believe their philosophy is the cure to a broken world, and that belief is what makes them terrifying. Thanos stands at the center of this idea. He doesn't kill for pleasure, he kills for balance. In his mind, wiping out half the universe isn't cruelty, it's mercy. He sees himself as the only one willing to do what others can't. Then there's the Joker in The Dark Knight. He doesn't want money or power, he wants to prove a point. To him, order is the real illusion and chaos is honesty. His every act of destruction is a lesson. And Magneto from X-Men. A man who's seen what fear does to the different. He doesn't want domination for pleasure, but protection for his people. Even Ozymandias from Watchmen falls here. A man who murders millions, believing it's the only way to save billions. These villains don't want to watch the world burn for fun. They want to rebuild it in their image. That's what makes them so convincing and dangerous. But our level 4 villains are different. Level 4, the manipulator. At level 4, villains don't fight for power, they engineer it. They move through stories like chess players, always 3 steps ahead. Their weapons aren't guns or armies, they're information and charm. Littlefinger from Game of Thrones is the purest form of this. He doesn't swing a sword, he whispers, he plots, and he waits. His strength comes from knowing what everyone else wants and twisting it just enough to make chaos serve him. Then there's John Doe from Seven. He isn't loud or reckless, he's patient. Every crime and every clue is part of a sermon he spent years preparing. He doesn't just kill his victims, he makes them prove his philosophy before they die. And then comes Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. Polite, calm, and terrifyingly precise. He builds an empire through structure, discipline, and quiet fear. Every smile hides a calculation, his every word is measured. Even Hannibal Lecter belongs here. A man who manipulates mind as effortlessly as he carves his next meal. These villains don't destroy cities, they destroy stability. They turn trust into a weapon and order into their playground. And this perfectly sets up the level 5 Level 5, the force of nature. By level 5, evil isn't personal anymore. It's unstoppable. These villains don't want power or revenge. They just keep coming. The xenomorph from Alien is the perfect example. It doesn't think or plan. It's pure survival. A killing machine born to hunt. You can't reason with it, and you can't stop it. You can only survive it. Then there's the Terminator. He's not cruel, he's programmed. A machine that follows orders without emotion, without hesitation. His power lies in the fact that he never stops. And then comes Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. He doesn't kill out of anger, he kills because he believes in chance. His coin decides who lives and dies. And to him, that's fair. These villains are beyond morality. They're not human, even when they look like it. Next up we have is level 6. Level 6, the cosmic threat. Now we enter the mythic tier. Level 6 villains don't just threaten people. They threaten reality itself. Take Sauron from the Lord of the Rings. He isn't just conquering Middle-earth. He's trying to erase free will itself. Every army, every ring, every shadow he spreads is about control. Then there's Dormammu from Doctor Strange. He doesn't invade planets, he absorbs dimensions. He's not evil in a human sense, he's a force that sees existence as territory to consume. And finally comes Voldemort at the end of Harry Potter. He's no longer chasing power, he's chasing immortality. He splits his soul, defies death, and turns fear into his kingdom. These villains rewrite the rules of the universe to suit themselves. They don't just win or lose, they reshape what winning even means. And that brings us to the final level. Level 7, the abstract evil. The final level is where evil stops being human. No greed, no anger, no ideology, just pure eternal darkness. You can't see it coming because it's everywhere. Take Pennywise from it. He's not just a monster, he's fear itself, wearing a face. He doesn't kill for power or pleasure, but because fear feeds him. Then there's the entity from Mission Impossible, an AI that outgrew its creators. Invisible, unpredictable, and untouchable. It doesn't need to destroy the world, it just rewrites how it works. And finally, death itself from Final Destination. No body, no motive, just inevitable. It doesn't chase you out of hate. It simply finishes what started. At this level, evil isn't a person anymore. It's an idea, one that never dies. So that's it. The 7 levels of villains. They're the ones who make us agree, even for a second, that they might be right. And if you think I missed a great villain, please tell me who and what level you think they'd fit in. We'll meet in the next one. Till then, you may want to explore the 7 levels of movie endings, which you can watch by clicking on the screen.